Welcome, Cover Slaves, the show where we play 30k and no other game exists, which is a good thing you're here, because what else are you going to do? I'm with Garrett again. He's got Death Guard this time. Clarence is back. And you've got what?
I got Iron Warriors.
Iron Warriors. So it's going to be interesting. New board, new terrain, a little different, more jungly. We're doing 2,500 points. Anything else I'm missing?
Not much.
2 Super Grim Legions gonna...
Head to head. We got a super heavy in play, which is cool.
Yeah.
And you got a bunker?
Yeah.
Cool. And pretty tight board, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be very much to the bone. I guess we'll be back with terrain and armies and not terrain.
2,500 points, Death Guard, Trader on Trader action. HQ, we have a Praetor in Cataphracti plate. He has a Paragon Blade. He's modeled with claws because claws are badass.
Paragon fingers.
Paragon stabbies. Digital lasers. What else has he got? Digital lasers, I guess.
And his Warlord trait.
Warlord trait, Strategic Genius. So I'm probably not going to do any reserves, but I think this game I'll take the option to seize on a 5-up if we get to that point.
Nice.
So troops, we have Tactical Unit, Rhino, Power Fist, Vexilla, Artificer on the Sergeant. We have another tactical unit, exactly the same. Bog Standard Rhino, Fist on the Sergeant, Artificer Armor, Vexilla. Running the Reaping as the Praetor's Rite of War, which unlocks heavy support units as non-compulsory troops. So we have a 10-man missile unit. No flak, just frag, crack. And Sergeant's got a Auspex. Rolling into heavy support. The Praetor's Terminator Elite Grave Warden unit, so 7. Prisoner. 2 Chain Fists, the rest have Power Fists and grenade launchers all around. 2 Sakaran battle tanks, Ceramite and Las Cannon on both. Dedicated transport for the Grave Wardens, the Spartan, Flare Shield.
Nice.
Armored Ceramite.
Nice.
And the Lord of War, Sturm Tiger, when you need a 400mm rocket-propelled shell to solve your problem. So, Storm Sword, no sponsons, Armored Ceramite.
Boom.
And that is 2,500 points, Death Guard.
2,500 point Iron Warrior Trader force. I got Erasmus Gulg, not being the Warlord, and I have a Siegebreaker that is my Warlord. He's in Cataphracti armor. He's got a Chain Fist and he's got a Combi Melta, and his Warlord trait is Target Priority, I believe. It's the one that's the bubble of rerolls, 8th edition style. So I have a unit of 10 Breachers with Melta Bombs, 2 Melta Guns, and a Combi Melta and Artificer armor on the Sergeant. I have 5 Recons with Bolters. The Sergeant has Artificer armor, and they all have Melta Bombs as well. Actually, they also have Camilio, and I paid for that too. I have a unit of 5 Iron Havocs with the autocannons, and they have Artificer armor and the Augury Scanner on the Sergeant. I have a 5-man Tartaro squad with combi grenades, Chain Fists, and a Reaper. I have 5 Tyrants with just stock. The Omniscope is on the Sergeant. I have 5 Cataphracti with Chain Fists and just combi bolters. I have a Quad Launcher with Phosphex and Shatter. Iron Circle, no upgrades. Dreadnought Talon with Artificer or Armored Ceramite, Multi-Meltas, and Heavy Flamers. Underslung, and then I have a bunker with the Void Shield and the what's it called, ammo store. So that is my 2,500 point list.
Death Guard deployment is complete. I'll do a quick rundown on where the objectives are quickly, so you guys know what we know. So right back here we have one. Right over in this little hovel we have another. Essentially, there must be some valuable CDs in these boxes because there's one right here.
in there.
By the nice swamp.
Shreks.
And the little industrial area here. So 5 objectives. I will mention quickly, I didn't mention during the army rundown, I'm running the Reaping Rite of War, so that's going to give rag grenades to my Praetor, and both tactical units of sergeants have rag grenades as well. And regular reaping shit, no running, no turbo boosts, army-wide move through cover. So, Cole's
In
notes.
terms of deployment there.
So deployment back here, Storm Sword centrally located. Sakarans hugging the back line. They're relatively fast so they can move up and spray shots. Rhinos are back as well. Got to keep those guys protected at least for a turn or two. And the Praetor and his Terminator Elite are deployed aggressively. We'll see how long they last. Maybe they'll back up. Not opposed to doing that. So that is Death Guard deployment.
So this is the side I picked for myself. I'm just starting down from over here. I have Golg in the Cataphracti. Just holding this flank. I got my Dreadnought Talon. They have to deploy close to each other, but they can split up after that. My Tyrants with Siege Terminator or Siege Master. Hopefully trying to like mitigate line of sight from the big bopper down the end of the table. Got more Terminators holding Shrek Swamp. I got the Iron Circle, who's really wishing I'd paint up the second one and build it. My bunkers holding that flank because there's not a ton of great line of sight.
And they're inside it, yeah?
They're inside of the guy on top just to remind us that
Right.
he's on top. And then the backfield, I have my dice cube I forgot to move. I got my breachers, they're putting their multi-guns to good use at the very back. I got the quad mortar, and then I got recons in reserve. Alright, so my recons, they're in reserve and they'll be outflanking. Garrett has decided he wants to go first as he was the one who deployed first. I decide I want to steal. So, point it out right here on the landing pad of 6s. No, it's a 4.
Nope. We'll be back with Death Guard turn 1. Right.
Death Guard turn 1. The Praetor ordered his tank to hold position, did not move, nor did the missile unit. This Sakaran pulled up over the ruin. The Storm Sword moved up the field. Rhino is just hanging back behind the building. Sort of similar. The other Rhino is just holding back for now. Going to be a lot of shit flying through the air, so he's just going to sit tight. Other Sakaran just maneuvered a little bit. So combined fire from the Spartan. Both Sakarans were able to kill the Iron Circle.
First blood.
My Surf Crewed Storm Sword flung a shot here-ish, hitting nothing with a 10-inch pie plate.
Except for a wreck.
So even if they do survive the battle, I think they're just going to be put up against the wall because I don't tolerate that shit with a 10-inch pie plate. You got a small pizza there, you got to hit something.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's it for Death Guard Turn 1 First Blood. Slow start, but getting the ball rolling.
From the end of Iron Warriors Sons of the Sigillite, turn 1.
Shut up.
So kind of just not too much movement happened on my end either. So starting down here, moved up with my Cataphracti and a Dreadnought because Garrett immobilized the other one with the...
His leg.
Yeah, with the sponson shot on his turn. I moved my Tyrants to get like a keyhole shot, not really, but like on the big bopper, and unfortunately they only did 1 hull point, which did get through the cover save.
But he's got 8 left.
But he's got 8 left. My Tartaros moved through the difficult and shot at the Sakaran, but they didn't do anything because what happened was my Havocs unloaded on the Sakaran, and unlike the similar output from the Tyrants where I need like 6s to glance with rerolling for tank hunters, they shredded it instead. So they did a good job, and my breachers lurked back there for the objective, and my quad launcher actually shot the trolley lead that was holding the
Canister.
crate to modify the cover save on the thing. So I killed the Sakaran pretty good. Wish I did more hull points on the storm sword before it just crushes the entire Terminator blob there. But we'll see at the end of Death Guard turn 2.
End of Death Guard turn 2. I moved the Super Heavy over this way to show the front armor to the Havocs, which would shred his side armor. So I'm going to shimmy over here. These guys stayed put. Spartan just sort of turned around to throw fire this way. The Sakaran moved up a bit, followed by the Rhino that was on the other side of the building. And the really close Rhino moved up a tiny amount, trying to leverage a little bit of space between the advancing hordes of 4th Legion murderers coming at me. So opening shot with one of the most disgusting guns in the game, centered right here to pick up a whole bunch of Terminators, and scattered exactly in between everything, hitting nothing.
Ooh, wow.
Very disappointing. So yeah, it's a surf crewed vehicle. They know now that they're dead men. Probably better to die by an Iron Warrior's bolt than see what the Lord of Death has in store for them, because, I mean, if I was in command of this unit, they would die by the most horrible means, like
Firing squad.
Yeah, so
Phosphix firing squad.
fuck those guys. Spartan threw shots into the bunker, and void shield and cover didn't cause any damage. The missile Astartes killed 2 Tartarus Terminators. The Sakaran was able to take a hull point off of one of the Dreadnoughts.
Good old las cannon.
And the Rhinos do not have range, they're just jockeying a little bit for position. So a little bit of a disappointing turn, but game's still relatively young, and a Death Guard turn 2.
Iron Warriors turn 2. First, my reserves came in. I rolled a 5, so I got to pick which side. I picked this side. Kind of retrospect, I regret it, but like it still worked out. So they came in, the Recon Marines. They made their 6-inch charge and they killed the Sakaran, so they did a good job there. Moving on down, my Tartaros Terminators, I moved 4 through the difficult and then ran 6, so they're kind of ahead of position, something like that. My bunker autocannons shot at his heavy support squad.
Oh, sure.
And combined with the barrage from my quad launcher, they managed to kill 3 out of the 7, so that's pretty good. He passed the leadership. My Tyrants shot at his storm sword and still only managed to do 1 hull point.
It's got 7 left?
7 left. Yeah. My Dreadnought back here still immobilized. My other Dreadnought moved 6 and blew smoke, while my Cataphracti squad kind of moved up. So that was my turn. In like retrospect, I think I should have flunked them to the Storm Sword and tried to kill it or like really heavily cripple it and really split some priorities. But I did get the Sakaran, and we'll see how turn 3 plays out.
And a Death Guard turn 3. Start over here. The Storm Sword pretty much sat tight. Fired into the Tartaros that were running up. And surprise, surprise, the Surf crewed Storm Sword actually hit on target. Vaporized the unit. The missiles actually opened on them and didn't do any damage on the Terminators.
Right,
but
yeah.
I needed those guys dead. They would have just done horrible things here. So that was good. The Rhino moved up, turned, and spilled out the tactical unit. They rapid fired into the recon dudes, and there are 2 left.
Yeah, you killed 3 of them.
Killed 3. This Rhino just sort of moved, trying to get central. The Spartan swung around, blocked the street. Grave Wardens and the Praetor spilled out Did not shoot because they wanted that charge. Charge was good. Went in. It was all of the power fists and all of the chain fists, because the Iron Warriors unit was all chain fists, and my unit's all chain fists and power fists, and it was a bloodbath. The Death Guard prevailed and wiped the unit and consolidated 6 inches towards the Dreadnought.
Killing Gulg as well, which is nice, eh?
So yeah, that was cool. They may not live for much longer, but they earned their pay. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And a Death Guard turn 3.
Iron Warrior turn 3. Guess we'll start on over here. So my tyrants, they tried to move to get a better line of sight and stuff. And they rolled like a 2, so I kind of only shuffled them a bit. Shot at the Storm Sword. I got like 5 hits out of 10s, and this is with them like rerolling ones to hit, and then I got like 1 glance. Failed it thankfully, but like not doing quite as much as I hoped. The Havocs, on the other hand, they shot at his heavy support squad. They killed like what, 5 out of the 8,
yeah.
And then he failed his leadership test, so they ran off the building, which means they're kind of out of commission for the next 2 turns, no matter what.
Right.
So that's really good.
Yeah.
And then moving down to my recons, they moved up and they assaulted the Rhino in the rear, and after some unspeakable acts, it exploded, killing one of his dudes and not killing any of my guys, but I have a whole bunch of angry legionaries ready to
they're
gun him down.
unpinnable and they're not snapping. So.
Yeah, so they're ready to gun him down
Yeah.
and or charge with the Power Fist. And then finally, with both Dreadnoughts, I shot. I got like 5 heavy flamer hits and like killed 1. Or none of the heavy flamers, and like they all wounded too, so he passed all of his saves. And but his multi-melta killed a guy before charging in, and he killed another 2 guys with his like 4 attacks, which was really good.
The Praetor's still alive.
Yeah, the Praetor managed to like bounce off Lookout, Sir them out, and his Gumbies died for him. He did shake me in return, but I'm down to 1 hull point, and but they passed the leadership test barely on the 9. So yeah, it's looking interesting, and we'll see if I can do more damage to his big thing. And
Did you shoot it with the quad gun?
I shot the quad gun at his other tactical squad, and I killed 2 of them.
Oh, cool, nice, okay.
So that was pretty good. Wanted to make them run, but you know, I got 1 unit. So yeah, that was pretty good. We'll see you guys at the end of Death Guard turn 4.
Death Guard turn 4. Storm Sword moved up a small amount and threw a shell here. It did fucking deviate again, killing a Terminator, but it went this way, so it actually knocked out the quad mortar, which is a bit of a
bonus.
Yeah, a little bit of a bonus, because I don't want that thing shelling me anymore. The unit that got knocked out of their transport here actually went into the Grave Warden Spartan. Most of them are dead, so they don't really need it anymore. It turned around and fired everything into the last 2 recons.
Boom, boom.
That Rhino was over here, so the guys loaded in, moved up. I was able to regroup the missile dudes, but they're just
Shots blocked
chilling
there.
out back there. And the combat, so the Dreadnought went first and scored a wound. I had to make the decision, do I take it on the Grave Warden, who's the only guy that can hurt the Dreadnought, or do I try to stick the Cataphract I saved with the Praetor? And I said, this is the 14th, so I'm taking it on the Praetor.
Boom.
And he passed. So Fist Dude took the last hull point off the Dreadnought, consolidated 1 inch, and a Death Guard, turn 4.
So starting down over on this end, my immobilized Dreadnought, he tried to heavy flame the Grave Warden and then melt again the Praetor, but the flamer failed to wound, so the melt again just killed the
Grave Warden?
The Grave Warden. So he died. Praetor passed his leadership test. Over here, I kind of mismoved them to try and get shots on something I hoped would happen down there, but they don't actually have line of sight. So they just shot the target they were going to shoot anyways, and they did 2 more hull points. So I'm going to have to do 4 in the next turn to try and salvage some points back. And then finally the Havocs out of their corner slit, able to shoot all the way down at the Rhino. Killed it. Pretty unsurprising. They do a lot of damage to like medium armor.
And they're not Snapfire or anything.
Yeah, so Death Guard don't get pinned, and they pass their Snapfire test, so they're good to go. And that's really about it. And we'll see. Oh yeah, my crewmen, they moved up a few inches.
And these guys are still.
Yeah, they're holding my objective. So
okay.
That's about it. We'll see at the end of Death Guard turn 5.
So end of Death Guard turn 5. I'm going to show these Iron Warriors just as a freebie how to make a cool ad hoc fortification. So I call this the Wall of Iron. You take your big expansion, jam them into shit. So he moved up a little bit, threw a shot at the Tyrants, and my God, guys. Scattered over here, 10-inch pie plate.
We pulled the vegetation just because it felt right.
Small pizza, didn't hit a thing. Unbelievable.
But those trees are fucking dead.
Spartan backed up.
That's a movie moment right there.
Closed this firing lane, spilled the guys out to take that central objective. And the dudes 5 inches clambered over onto that objective. And my 2...
I love that.
Badly scorched, autocannon pockmarked, heavy weapon dudes were able to move through cover over to the other objective. So as long as I can... Oh yeah, the Praetor attempted to disengage. Cataphractic armor is slow.
Oh yeah.
And he only got a couple steps away. So as long as he doesn't get blasted by a multi-melta, and Cleary doesn't somehow shell... what I have left, it should be good to go. End of Death Guard turn 5.
It's the end of Iron Warrior turn 5 from the end of the game. Starting down over here, I moved up my my Tyrants to draw a line on his missile marines, and they got missiled.
Took them off the objective?
Yeah, killed them off. Then my immobilized Dreadnought tried to shoot his Praetor because I still had arc. I hit, but I failed to wound, so that kind of sucked. And then the last thing I could do was try and shoot to his side armor from the 1 fire point, and I only did 2 of the 4 hull points needed.
Live the whole game.
And so yeah, if I had the Hail Mary was to kill the Praetor, kill that, and then have it explode and scatter onto them, killing them, and that's how I could have won it 5-3.
But it's 7-3, right?
But it is 7-3, so that's the end of
This one here?
Yeah, he has tactical marines on here and on there, and then I have breachers on the back one, but he also got first blood. So,
from the Iron Circle.
Yeah, from the Iron Circle. So 7-3, Death Guard victory, and we'll see you in the post game show. Welcome to our backyard show. You just watched us camp out here for 2 hours. But no, we finished our 2,500 point game. You definitely did watch it all.
Didn't fast forward.
No fast forwarding. And yeah, you watched Garrett win with his Death Guard with his Reaping list. That
interesting matchup.
Yeah. So for like the 90th time, we rolled like short edges, makes things different, and we got 5 objectives. Garrett,
more of a grind with short edges.
2 shooting heavy armies, right? Kind of duking it out over that long board is cool, and it's like your fortification, right? Kind of playing to that Iron Warriors theme, and Reaping just coming up slow, and a lot of autocannon shots.
Methodical too, though, because you can just mow over the
a lot of seed shells being thrown into the atmosphere.
Oh yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Couple wild rounds, but.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
Clarence, what was your epic fail, Clarence?
So, my epic fail, I think, is the Tyrants.
In targeting or just in general? Or?
Yeah, it's because, like, just in general. Because I kind of, like, expected...
More of them, or...?
I expected the same as out of the Havocs. Because in most cases, it was, like, both, like, 10 shots, rerolling most of the stuff, 6s to glance that needed to be rerolled too. And like it just performed way worse in that like comparable rolls.
What was your MVP?
It's the Havocs. The Havocs,
the Havocs
gunned
were
down
murderers.
everything. They killed the Sakaran, they killed Rhinos, they killed Devastators, they killed anything they could actually hurt.
You only lost 2 of them, or?
I didn't lose any Havocs.
No.
They're in the bunker, yeah. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm being too harsh on the
Confused with the Tyrants, that's what
Maybe
I
I'm being too harsh on the Tyrants. They did put up a pretty good blanket of
They're
fire.
scary shit, right? Because I kept trying to kill them because I know if I leave those guys on the board, they're gonna do work.
Yeah.
But
maybe I should
And they
say,
hug the angles, too.
like, really the true, like, epic fail would have been, like, the Iron Circle because it died turn 1 again.
Yeah.
But it did, like it ate, like, 2 Sakarans and, like, a Spartan, which is pretty good, but it is... You only get so much with one of them.
What do you think your epic fail was, Garrett?
that's easy. The Storm Sword tank
The Surf Crew.
can be repaired. The crew will be buried in a shallow grave.
Fed to the new crew.
That Surf Crew, because like it's so crazy, right? It's a small you're shooting a small pizza at guys.
Yeah.
So the BS, the negligible difference between BS4, which you pay 15 points for,
Yeah.
and at 2,500, those last 10, 15, you kind of have to jiggle those points around.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay 15 points for an inch. It's all it's getting me, which in normal circumstances would be a Marine here or a Marine there.
True, yep.
It doesn't really equate to points well spent when you could buy my Praetor something or add a Marine into a unit or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, those guys, well, we should just stop talking about them. They've been executed. Game over.
They're long dead.
We'll find some guy. We'll find some Astartes to crew that tank next
What do you
time.
think your MVP was?
I'm gonna say Grave Wardens, maybe. I was thinking that was going to be a longer charge than it was going to be when I swung the Spartan down that road, but so I was worried they weren't going to make it.
Yeah.
But
Like our first game.
yeah. And
you got 6 out plus the 8 charge.
And
so
at
was
that
huge.
point in the game, I was sweating it because you had momentum, I felt, at that point in the game. And I felt like I needed to commit those Terminators to holding up that side of the board. Because
Close the flank, too, because you shut that whole street off.
Because I needed to, like, if I was going to win, I needed to control those central objectives.
Yeah.
And if I leave those, if I give those Terminators the charge on the tank and they blow it up, then I'm on the back foot.
Right.
And they're advancing. So, they all died, gave their lives, but it really stymied that side. So
And you
I
killed
would say
Gulg
Grave
with them, right?
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the terms.
Die like a chump.
2 minutes or less, your thoughts on the game, Cleary?
So, it was a fun game. At the end, there was like the Hail Mary potential that I had to actually win it in a truly absurd
Yeah, if
fashion.
everything went perfect, basically, yeah.
But, so I don't mind that like it didn't quite work out.
Yeah.
Because it was fun that there's still a chance. There's still a chance at the end of the day to win. But, Garrett played well. He blocked stuff off so I can get to places. He presented an Armor 14 wall, which means, like, something I haven't had a lot of experience playing against with the Iron Warriors.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
It's
Ben
usually
uses-
13 or below.
Yeah,
for you.
Ben uses a lot of 13, a lot of 11 in terms of, like, rhinos and javelins. So, like, it's a nice, wake up, be like, oh shit, like, my list is a little not good for this.
I love the is it the Bane Sword or was it the Bane Hammer?
Storm Sword.
Storm Sword.
Storm Sword.
Again, like it's 14 front. You can't hurt it with the autocannon, so you have to wait for the side shot.
Yeah.
That was very cool.
So yeah, like my list, like I knew it could use some improvement. Like there's a lot of like whatever units in there, but that takes painting and stuff. But that's fine. But the real thing for me is like I took the wrong side, and I kind of knew it. Because, like,
I was a little surprised that you gave me that side. I could see what you were thinking because it was a more constrained side for the armor to operate in.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the objective spread was
reaping is really slow, and I kind of shit talked it like in the pregame, and I didn't like play to its disadvantage, and then
lost to it, which is good.
Well, I'll get to that in a sec, but like. I think I also outflanked on the wrong side, kind of. Just
Maybe
because,
in retrospect, yeah.
Just because, like, really, I think the Spartan did more than the Storm Sword, but that was luck. But, like, honestly, if I had been able to, like, move my Terminators up more, like, freely, and have killed it on my turn 2 before my Tartaros died, then that would have changed a lot. So, like, I think most of the reasons why I lost were like my misplays.
Good.
And that's fine.
It was bound to happen one of these times.
For sure. Like everyone makes mistakes. And like it's been a while for me. I've been a little rusty on the 30k.
Garrett, 2 minutes less. Your thoughts on the game, sir?
It was a really fun game. I've played Cleary a handful of times now, and it's good to get a win, so I'm going to sleep well tonight. But no, like, I was definitely sweating it. You had early momentum. You knocked that Sakaran out, and I was like, okay, like, those Havocs are no joke.
Yeah.
And I had to be careful with positioning the Super Heavy. It didn't punch at its points level to do anything, but losing it would have been at least a point right in your direction. So, and the thing with that list, right? Like, I invest heavily in heavy armor, which eats up a lot of points. I invested heavily in like Terminator Elite and a fairly expensive missile unit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's a low unit count army, right? So on a playing a game with 5 objectives, you kind of struggle to see how you're going to lock down those objectives. And then it comes down to maybe you controlling 2 and I can only control a couple, and then it's super tight. So that's
Guns train in the middle.
it's one of the drawbacks of investing in those really expensive units, that you feel like you're going to get a lot of punch with them, but when they don't punch and then you realize, shit, there's not a whole lot I can really do here, you got to grind it out. But I guess that's a testament to the 2 legions, right?
Our lists were very similar in that.
Smashing our heads together.
Our lists were very similar in that regard. Like, we both like invest a lot in firepower, but not a lot in mobility.
Yeah.
And like
a lot of 48-inch range stuff.
I had
36
4 scoring units, and you had 3 or 4 scoring units as well. So we didn't have too much. And like, here's my critique of Reaping coming in right now. I really don't think it did anything for you personally in that game, at least.
No.
Like, I did have to kill the 2 Rocketeers at the end just to like, but like, you'd
maybe
already
saving
won.
a few dangerouses that
Like,
may have immobilized.
for sure.
Maybe.
Like, you'd already beat me at that point, unless like the Hail Mary went through perfectly. But I really think like, unless you're going really heavy in the concept of like troop heavy support squads, or like you kind of have to do the opposite of the Reaping to make it like good. You have to take like assault marines, you have to take like jet bikes, you have to take a librarian, you have to take fucking Chrysos and Morturg for infiltrate because he has Master of Ambush. Like, there's like really weird things that you have to take to make it like good, in my opinion.
Being an armor guy, I like the army-wide move through cover because it lends. It didn't really apply to that table because there wasn't a lot of difficult terrain to move through. But if you encounter a table that has a lot of like woods and stuff, you're not able to turbo boost. You can't run. Your army's slow, but if you're using units like Rhinos and Sakarans that can just blow through 12 inches, you claw some of that mobility back, but it doesn't really apply to a game like that.
I mean, like, you did clear out a bunch of stuff in the first 2 turns just like by moving and turning. So like, who knows? Maybe like you could have had a Rhino immobilized way back.
True.
Not been able to maneuver further.
Saves you on dozer blades too in the end, right?
Yeah, it does save you some points. You can think of the like 5 points here, 5 points there. So no, like, it was useful. I just don't think like most of the time.
It didn't give me a lot in that particular scenario in that particular game.
Now, like, I could have done like Ironfire. If we're talking about Rights of War, that like we could have done something different. Like, I could have taken Ironfire just to have like Fearless on the markers. Like, it's not super useful, but it
without a lot of artillery.
But it had like no drawback not to take it in that list. But yeah, no, the game was really fun. I definitely do want to like paint up more units. I want to get Destroyers and like another not great unit, but they're pretty good now in my opinion. I want to get my 2nd Iron Circle built and painted, my 5 other Tyrants, my 60 Tactical Marines. Like, I got a whole bunch.
We'll do a rematch at 3,000.
My 3 Medusas, my like 3 Whirlwind Scorpiuses. Like, I got my Cerberus. Like, all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah, like I've played a couple games with you guys now on the channel, and it's all been at that 25 points level. So next time maybe we'll go do a 3.
The Demons was like 3,000. I feel
was
it
was
25.
It was 25.
Oh
Yeah,
it was.
That was a good level too for them. That was fun to see that.
It was interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I want to get more stuff painted.
Yep.
Use more different things possibly for me at least. Like I know you like your armor, so like that's what maybe we'll see the what is it the glaive next time?
Falchion.
Falchion. I always forget.
Nice. That's the even bigger
Yeah,
one,
the
right?
glaive is the Volkite one, eh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Any final thoughts, guys? Anything else, or?
Oh, it's an awesome game.
Yeah, no, it's fun, and like I said, like improve the list, paint more stuff, play more games.
Yeah.
We're back at it
Finish
again.
up.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye.
Gods of war, may your hammer be mighty.